Somebody really needs a haircut. I have never seen such a scruffy little doggy in all my life. You're so scruffy. You are such a scruff ball. But mummy, it's okay because it's only 2 days until the hair salon's open again. I think I might go for balayage. Good morning, my darlings, and welcome to the last ever lockdown vlog. Oh my goodness, it is the weekend. I've got a lot of tufts going on. I'm doing a dicky with my hairstyles this morning. It is the weekend before the 12th of April, which is a date that we here in the UK have had in our diaries for, well, what feels like forever, because on Monday, restaurants and shops are able to open again, albeit with limited capacity, safely, and eating outside, etc, etc. But oh, it just feels so good that we're going to be having a little bit of normality. I'm trying to get myself back into a bit of a routine. As I've mentioned, I'm just kind of like easing myself back into exercise. At the moment, I would say it's more about the actual routine, like getting up at a certain time and getting into the gym, doing a 10-minute sun salutation yoga stretch, and then today I actually upped it to a 30-minute Peloton. I did an 80s ride, which was great. Felt like I was probably pushing it to about 80% of what I could have pushed it. I didn't really want to do too much more, and then I did a 5-minute cool down stretch, so I feel really good. It was starting to get nice and sunny as I did my cool down stretches. I don't know if it's going to stay sunny today, but Charlie and I, surprise, surprise, do plan on spending a lot of the day in the garden. I think what we're going to do is if we come into the boudoir, I can show you. So obviously this is the wall and the amazing view that we wake up to, and I feel so grateful for this view. I've said it so many times, but honestly, it's just the most beautiful view. The pear trees are starting to come into blossom. This is the wall that Charlie and I spent a lot of time taking the ivy off. You can see from the buttress this way, it's actually a newer red brick. So that structure there that looks like a tree silhouette is wisteria. So we had the Nicholson's chaps prune it back and kind of attach it to the red brick wall. I'm hoping that it won't be too shocked from the movement, and I'm hoping that it's going to really like fill out and blossom. I'm going to investigate if there's any buds on it later on. And then to the left of the buttress being this stone support for the wall there, we are making it into a bit of a rose garden. So there's actually a ginormous rose growing over here that's probably about 5 years old at a guess. And then we have planted a couple of little clematis, and a few other roses along the back. But the plan today is to basically dig out, it's quite a good way of showing you up here, little bird's eye view. We're going to dig out from here and then make a proper flower bed. So the Nicholson's chaps made this flower bed here, and we're going to try and do a symmetrical version. We're going to try and do it ourselves. We are going to need to pop out at some point to get some more compost, but yeah, that's basically going to be our rose garden. And then in front of the wisteria here, we'd like to make this into a little hydrangea garden. I think that is the plan. So very much looking forward to getting out and doing that today. And I think I might have a little bit of a wardrobe rejig as well, because I just feel like Do you know what? I feel like I kind of lost my passion for getting dressed up over the last couple of months, obviously because there's been no need to, but I don't know if you noticed in the last vlog when I was trying on the dresses that I ordered from Net-a-Porter, when I was editing it, I was like, where's the passion, Josie? These are the most beautiful dresses ever, and I just felt that I was so unpassionate, and I think I'm just so out of practice. Yeah, can't wait to get back to normal. So I'm about to hop in the shower, and on the weekends I like to have a little bit of a pamper. Equally, I want to just crack on with the day, so I don't like to spend too long doing it. So I'm going to apply, I've kept it, this is a brand new one in the packaging to show you because the packaging is so cute. So this is from Erborian, and this little part of the video is in partnership with Erborian. They have very kindly allowed me to share a discount code with you, which is Josie20 for 20% off. I'll leave all the information and the links, etc. in the description box down below, but you probably will know Erborian for their BB and their CC creams. This is the newest to my collection. I tried this out last week. It's their CC water. I'll be using that a bit later. But another range that I feel like they are becoming even more known for is their milk and peel range. I love the packaging of this, but now I have to shred it to get into the mask. I'm pretty sure I have told you about this before, probably even when we were in Clapham. So it's probably been a year since you heard me raving about this. If you can hear noises in the background, it's because the birds are still nesting in that. In fact, look at this devastation. It is beyond a joke now. It's actually gone from being funny to being really annoying. We urgently need to get a cowl put on top of this chimney because we think it's actually crows, which is not ideal. As you can tell, they're being very unsuccessful with nest building. There isn't actually a nest up there, but they obviously just keep forgetting and just chucking more sticks down the fireplace, which is a bit of a pain because every single morning we have to clear this up. Anyway, I digress. So this is the Milk and Peel range from Erborian. There's also a cleansing oil in Balm, which I'm going to take into the shower with me. I would say this is my favorite product from the range. So this is a 5-minute resurfacing mask with sesame milk. I'm going to pop it on my skin now while we chat. So consistency wise, it's quite thick. It almost looks, I would say, like a clay mask, like the thickness that you would expect from a clay mask. But the benefits of this, as you might be able to guess from the name, is it is a resurfacing mask. And if you are experiencing, I would say, kind of dull skin, skin that feels like it needs a little bit of a pick-me-up, you want to get that fresh, glowing, soft baby skin effect. I look like Father Christmas. Then you want to look for products which are exfoliating and resurfacing. But what you can find, especially if you've got sensitive skin, is that if you use an exfoliator with actual particles in it, it can be a little bit abrasive on the skin because you're literally like scrubbing your skin. Whereas if you look for a resurfacing product like this, which has got enzymes which exfoliate your skin, what they do is they kind of nibble away at those dead skin cells while you have the mask on, which is amazing. So this smooths the skin texture with that exfoliating enzyme. I pop it on all over my face, not too close to the eyes, and then whatever's left on my hands, I just take it down my neck a little bit as well. And then you don't need to worry about the skin feeling dried out or irritated afterwards because the sesame oil in this, and sesame oil is known for its like fatty acids, so what it does is it nourishes the skin. I look like a clown, I look like I've got clown makeup on. It basically nourishes the skin while it's being exfoliated as well. So you only need to leave this on for 5 minutes. I've just realised I've made a rookie error. Taking off a sports bra when you've got a face mask on is very challenging. That is going to be very challenging. I'm conscious that this is doing crazy things to the lighting, so I'm going to catch up with you again after my shower. Okay, I am back, freshly showered, didn't do a hair wash because I'm just going to be gardening all day today, so I don't need to have fresh hair. Just had a little bit of an incident with Dickie. Turns out I forgot to shut the kitchen door and he spent the whole time that I was in the shower just strolling around upstairs. We don't allow the dogs out of the kitchen family room area because it's not good for their backs, trotting around up and down all the stairs. Plus, something that some people don't know about Dachshunds, sausage dogs, is that they are very territorial and they like to protect and patrol their own area. So if you make that area too big, then they actually get really anxious because they feel the need to protect a bigger space. So if you've got a sausage dog and you live in a big house, it's actually better, according to sausage dog experts, to keep them in a small area so they only feel the need to protect a little bit of the house. There are just so many parts, so many things about sausage dogs that just melt my heart. They are just too much, too much. Anyway, back to lovely Erborian. So I used the, oh, that's the balm. Didn't actually use the balm because my skin actually just felt so clean after using the mask that I didn't feel the need to use it. So I will be using that to take my makeup off this evening. So when you put the mask on, it does the peeling very gently. And then when you, either at the sink or in the shower, start to add a little bit of warm water, it turns into a milk, and that is when your skin is just getting those lovely calming, nourishing properties, which feels so good. So if you maybe have been a little bit scared to do any enzyme exfoliating before, any peeling, this is a really lovely gentle way of doing it at home and getting that really fresh, smooth complexion, but without putting anything too harsh on the skin. I believe there are also there's like a combination of 7 herbs which are great for smoothing, soothing and nourishing the skin within that. So to continue the theme of a smooth and lovely complexion, I'm going to pop on their Glow Creme. This is one of the products you can pop on before your BB or CC if you just want to add a little bit of additional radiance to the skin. And it also just preps the skin so that any makeup that you pop on afterwards sits really beautifully. Everything with Erborian always has at least one additional benefit, so you don't only get a nice feeling kind of priming product, kind of moisturizing priming product, but you also get the benefits of smoothing of the skin, hydrating the skin, loads of different benefits to using this. And then what I'm going to do, because today is just to relax, this has become my weekend product. So at the weekends, when I'm outside, relaxing with family, whatever, gardening, I like to go for a fresh and natural makeup look. I think so many of us, in fact, I was listening to a podcast, I digress, but this is the texture. So it's kind of like a clear gel with little bubbles in it. I was listening to a podcast, I think it was a Sheerluxe one, and they were saying how over lockdown the makeup trends have quite understandably changed from being all about a little bit more of a glam makeup look to a lot more of a natural makeup look. When you're sat at home but on a Zoom, you don't feel the need to have a full face of makeup. So BB and CC creams are great for that. This one is amazing. So it's their new CC water. So as you just saw, it looks just like a clear liquid when you pop it on your hands, but then as soon as you start to massage it into the skin, rub it in like you would do a moisturizer, then you'll see it starts to have a colour appear to it. Now Erborian is a brand which uses Korean skincare technology, all the innovations that they incredibly come out with in Korea, and applies it to products that we can use on a daily basis. You can see instantly it has smoothed out my skin, given a little bit of coverage, and it just feels absolutely gorgeous. This is fantastic. I have an Erborian BB cream in my gym bag. Obviously I haven't been to the gym in goodness knows how long, aside from the gym here, but it's great for popping on. Say you have a spin class and then you need to get to a meeting and you just want 5 minutes, if that, to just even out the complexion. Actually a really good one for after workout. So if you go on the Erborian website, they've got loads of different BBs and CCs. You can really find one that's perfect for your skin. So if you're using it for after a workout, for example, you could use the anti-redness one, which I believe is in the green tube, and that will just color correct any redness. This one is great for obviously additional hydration, a really lovely amount of coverage, but not too much. What you can do, and what I like to do, is go in afterwards with a little bit of concealer, whether it's under or around the eyes, any areas where I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. This is the BB Crayon from Erborian. I love having these in my handbag. They are so handy just because they're so tiny, and they are incredibly versatile. You can use it if you've got the right shade for underneath your eyes. Again, they're nice and hydrating. They've got ginseng in them, which is great for getting a bit more of an energized look to the complexion. And they're in a crayon kind of packaging, but then they are so balmy when you pop them on the skin, and they just blend in so nicely just with the warmth of your finger. So again, great for on the go. Just finished by showing you the makeup in some slightly softer lighting. I always have the camera leaning up on the windowsill, and it is quite like a blast of daylight coming in. As you can see, the skin has the most gorgeous natural glow. If you don't love that look, you could of course pop on a tiny bit of powder, but personally I think glowing skin just looks so healthy. It feels healthy, it feels hydrated. I absolutely love it, and you definitely don't need any highlight. I feel like I think there's something very spring-like about a dewy complexion. So this is my 3 to 5 minute natural, super quick and easy weekend makeup look. I did pop a little bit of bronzer on my eyelids, and I think it's a little bit too dark, but never mind. Bit of tinted lip balm on and some dry shampoo. So don't forget, for Erborian, Josie20 is the discount code you need to save 20% off on their website. Everything that I've used and mentioned will be linked down below. Now it's time for me to pop some clothes on. At 10:30 in the morning, grab some brunch, and then head outside to do our rose border. The most delicious weekend breakfast, crumpets with fried eggs, cooked sunny side up with some pepper and some chives from the garden. And somebody else enjoys crumpets too, you lucky little boys.
We particularly like these sourdough crumpets, Mummy.
Are they sourdough crumpets?
Yeah, they're sourdough ones.
What lucky little boys. Waitrose.
I'd like to try and make crumpets one day. They are quite tricky, because they're not tricky, but you have to prepare them like the day before, I think. So you need them to...
Some things it's just better to buy, mate.
Yeah, I think so. Well, anyway.
Yummy! Sadly, today is a typical example of April showers. It is raining, then sunny, then raining, then sunny. And as the rosebed garden is going to take a good full afternoon, I would say, we've decided to tackle an indoor task, which we have very much been putting off. So fueled by...
We've already done one indoor task, haven't we?
We sorted out the post room area. I did show everyone at the end of last vlog, so it is very dull to everyone except for us. So, fueled by an oat milk latte and the last of my cupcakes from the lovely Selfridges delivery that M sent us. Charlie and I...
Lovely cupcakes.
Yeah, I actually didn't say that they were lovely until now. I know, I didn't want you to have any, because I knew that once you'd had one, you'd snuffle all of them.
You had all 6.
And we didn't want another, what was the incident that you just used to keep eating? What was that? There's something that I loved and you used to keep eating them. So now I just try not to tell you when we've got nice things.
Do you reckon this is for wine, or...?
Yeah, it's a carafe. So the task now is to sort out all of this, our lovely crockery, and place it, well, it probably needs cleaning.
Well, we first need to decide what we're keeping, because we've got way too much. And some will be going to straw top, possibly.
Yes, some will be going to the cottage.
And then we need to clean it, and then we need to find a home for it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect in here, because that area there, we need a new cabinet, don't we?
Yeah.
So we've got this. So I think we sort of need to just really come up with a strategy, because we've got lots of things that it's just like...
Well, this room is looking 10 times better than it was half an hour ago. So as you can see, we've cleared all the bits and bobs that we had just started to dump here on the table. Because this is not the lightest room, we don't actually eat in here very often. It's really a kind of cozy Sunday roast kind of room. But obviously, also, we haven't really done any decorating in here. We haven't got a rug, we haven't painted the walls. There's still a lot to do in this room, and it's just been a very low priority for us. So we now have this unit here, which we purchased from College Antiques, which is in Northwest Wales, I think. And this is really helpful for storing lots of bits. So we have got cutlery in this section up here. We have got napkins and napkin rings. Charlie actually got me this set for my birthday. He knows how much I love tablescapes. And they've got really lovely antique brass, like foliage bits on them. And more tablecloths, and then this little lovely glass box came with a delivery from a beauty brand a couple of weeks ago, and it's useful for storing little bits of foliage that I like to tie in with ribbon on our napkins when we have guests over. And then in the cupboards underneath we have got all of our serving items. We've got serviette holders, serving dishes and things like that, so that's very, very useful. In here, this is the booze cupboard. Used to be a passageway through to the undercroft of the chapel, now filled with a mixture of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. So that's a great place to store those. I thought the dining table also looked a little bit cluttered with 5 chairs really shoved in together on each side. So I've popped one of the extra chairs in this corner, and there's one in that corner as well, because we now have the newly recaned heads of table chairs. So these were recaned by a local lady really, really beautifully, and they make for great heads of table. This table behind here, as I mentioned, is eventually going to be a potting table in a future greenhouse, because as I've mentioned a million times before, our current greenhouse sadly has to get dismantled because we need to do some urgent work to the oil tanks behind them, and sadly the greenhouse is just in the way, so it is going to have to get demolished, which is so sad. But that's why I did just a temporary kind of glow up on it this summer. But future greenhouse will have this lovely table inside it as a potting table, but for now it's just quite good to be stored in this wood store area. We use this chimney area as a wood store. We don't need access to the wood at the moment because I don't think we'll have to have many more fires this season now that we're officially in spring. So it looks like Charlie's got his gear here to oil the table. It's this lovely, really old wood. It's got so much character to it, but it does still need protection. This is the one Osmo top oil that doesn't actually change the appearance of the wood, but it just makes it a little bit more water repellent and stops the wood from cracking and getting damaged, basically. Some more oil to feed the wood. I don't really know where he does all of this, but does all of that, but he enjoys pottering about with wood. So now that we have completed the dining room, we are going to head to the cottage and take some of the stuff which has been building up in the house, because we've basically been storing things like, I mean, everything from towels to drying racks to plates to champagne glasses and things like that we've been storing here. Firstly, we were storing it in the study area, but we tidied that, and now it's just sat here in our entrance hall. So we're going to take a load of this stuff over to the cottage. How beautiful does this look? I think it looks very bridal. These are the flowers that came with a clé de peau delivery. Some of the peonies are almost getting too big. I need to trim some of these back. But it's a really nice alternative to the more high and voluminous display I did before. So we're going to see how much this we can fit in the car and take it over to the cottage. Gosh, when we were in the dining room, I was wrapping up glasses in tissue paper, and now we've got a car full of boxes. It feels like we are moving house again, which is funny because the day that this video goes live, I think it'll be exactly 1 year since we had the final green light from our solicitors that we could actually move here. It was April the 17th that we finally moved. Gosh, I cannot believe it has been almost a year. Crazy. And what a year it has been. Oh my goodness, I don't actually believe it. This is the fireplace here at the cottage, and we've not been here before when there has been anything thrown down this chimney. And just after I told you about our bathroom chimney at home, oh my gosh, it looks like we are having the same problem here at the cottage. We are going to be having someone coming over to install a lovely log burning stove, hopefully very soon, so this will hopefully be a problem of the past. But how funny that this is also a problem here at the cottage. So the only thing that's changed here is that we have a sofa. This is actually a sofa bed. So at a push, we could sleep 6 people here at the cottage, but it is really just for 4 people. And this one here, oh, it's so beautiful. We've gone for this gorgeous, quite rustic linen. This is from sofa.com. So sofa.com is where we got the sofa from that we have in our family room, the green one, and we just absolutely love it. It is so comfortable. This is actually the exact same sofa, but the 3.5 seater version, the one that we've got at home, is the 4-seater version. So this one's a tiny bit smaller, and this one does ping out to become a sofa bed. Of course, I'm going to keep the plastic cover on it because the bedroom upstairs is getting shot blasted, and the floor in here is going to be, I don't know really what they're doing. I think they're buffing it and then revarnishing it. You can see where she used to have a bit of furniture here. It's a lot, it's actually faded differently to the rest of the floor. So what we'll do is have someone come over and really buff the whole floor up, and it'll make it look a lot more cohesive and just make it look a lot better. But you can see from this half that I've pulled the cover back that it really is absolutely beautiful. What I may do, sorry, I'm out of breath because we've been lifting all this stuff from the car. What I may do is actually make some different cushion covers. I think sometimes it looks quite nice to have a contrast cushion along the back, and it'll stop it being so cream. But you've got to remember that the walls in here are going to be green, a really lovely earthy green, so it shouldn't be too beige in here. It's just the absolute perfect vibe that we wanted. Very cozy, it's just asking to be snuggled up on. We'll pop a lovely blanket on there. And something else that I really love is or are rather, these little feet. So these are little oak feet, and I just think they look really, really nice. So yeah, this is the teddy sofa. Charlie came here to accept the delivery, and basically this doorway is super duper narrow and we couldn't even get this table in without a lot of difficulty. So what the sofa.com guys actually did was they took it apart and rebuilt it in here. So really great service from those guys. So it's just going to be a great part of this room, and really quick delivery as well. So hats off to sofa.com. Anyway, let's put the cover back. And then the only other piece of furniture we've bought in here is this oak lowboy. Gosh, that is very close to the radiator. That's a bit of a problem actually, because we have got radiator covers coming. We might have to replace this with a slightly smaller radiator. We're going to be replacing all the radiators anyway because they are so old and dirty. So maybe this one, yeah, we're going to have to make it a bit smaller. So we've had a change of heart and we have brought the oak lowboy up to the 1st floor bedroom. This is the room that where I'm standing. It's going to be a double bed, and I'll pop a picture on the screen here of this inspo image that Charlie has saved, and that's the kind of vibe that we're going to go for in this little corner. So I think what we might look for is a really beautiful statement wallpaper for this section and for this section here, and then have a really lovely full-length portrait mirror on this wall here. Whenever I go to a hotel, I always get frustrated if there isn't a full-length mirror, and in this room we will have a radiator cover on here. This is the wardrobe space, so I think it'd be perfect to have a full-length mirror on this wall. So now I just need to have a look out for some wallpaper that could go behind here, and then a nice little beauty vanity mirror. That's where we can, oh yeah, perfect, because then there's plugs there if you want to put straighteners in.
Well, and we just need to right chair.
Yeah.
Sort of a fairly, like
not even a chair, I would say a footstool. A footstool reupholstered in the same fabric as the cushions for the bed to tie it all in together.
Yeah, maybe. I just love that image, and it has the chair in it, but I know
Does
what
it?
you mean. Yeah.
I think we need to...
The one thing that really bothers me in here is the ceiling lights, and obviously we're going to put a nice table lamp there. Originally I thought about a floor lamp. I think if we're doing this, we won't have a floor lamp there.
No.
But I'm wondering whether we can get Darren, the electrician, to take electrics from this, because this is an old plug that we're removing. I don't even know if this is possible. Put one of those swing arm lights here, So you have got bedside table lamps, but one's different. Obviously it's quirky, right? No, but just because it's nice not to have these in all the time. Because these are going to have to stay. We'll replace them with nice antique brass.
Better idea. If he's going to do loads of uprooting of the electrics, can we not have wall lights either side of the bed? Because lamps, I think, are going to be a bit of a wire fest in this room.
The only reason I said lamp is because this needs something on there.
Yeah.
You know the lamp we've just got from Kept?
Yeah.
That could look amazing here with the big shade.
But we could never have wires like hanging off. It would have to almost have a wire through.
It'd be a plug in here and it would have to go.
Yeah. Well, I think for the sake of the size of this room, there will only be one bedside lamp.
Yeah, I wonder if we can. Well, anything's possible.
I think if he can do 2 lights either side of the bed, that would be the best option. And no lamp. We think of something else attractive to put on that. This was actually our second choice wallpaper for the main bedroom upstairs, and I think it could look really, really nice in the 2 sections because it's quite an overpowering wallpaper. So I think just having it on the 2 sections could be a really nice option. So again, I might buy a full roll of this, and then we can have a little play around.
Do you know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking, mate?
So obviously we do it on that wall, and on the inside of here.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so like not on this wall, but just so it continues. Just on here.
Funky.
That does not look safe.
Probably not.
Right.
Is the carpet going to continue into there, yeah?
I don't...
Yeah, it's going to have to, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Gotta love these rickety old cottages. Back in the kitchen, and I'm wondering if we maybe ripped it out a little bit too soon because we are having a little bit of a delay with the kitchen design, and we haven't even got a fit date in the diary for the kitchen, so hopefully we're not going to have to wait too long. I really hope that this isn't what holds up the cottage. But in case you didn't watch to the end of my last vlog, we will be launching a giveaway for a stay here. I spoke about it quite a lot in my last vlog, but if you want any cottage updates, I am kind of putting together a bit of an email list, so I'll leave a link that you can sign up to those email updates down below, and you'll be the first to know about any upcoming stays and how you can book to stay here. Not that it's very tempting looking at the moment, but trust me, it is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Back home again, and Charlie has delivered the extremely exciting news that we are going to be having a Chinese dinner tonight. Oh my goodness. So he has got the Waitrose takeaway meal for 2. Beef and a black bean sauce, sweet and sour chicken, egg fried rice, chicken chow mein, and 6 veggie spring rolls. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering like crazy. And then we have got half aromatic crispy duck. Treat yourself.
Oh yes, treat yourself 2011.
Battered chicken with sweet and sour sauce. Treat yourself. Egg fried rice. Treat yourself. What do you think to that, my Dexy? Oh, I'm just so glad you're home, Mummy. I really missed you because I'm really not used to you leaving the house, you see.
Could you do their dinner actually?
Yes. And we are back up here. The spring rolls and the crispy duck are in the oven, and I'm very excited. We are going to have an unforgotten marathon this evening. Charlie and I have, I guess like many people, have got so used to having everything on demand that the thought of having to wait a week for each new episode of Unforgotten, we decided to just save it all up for a rainy afternoon, not listen to any spoilers, because obviously some people have been watching it as it happens. It's a British crime drama. I'm not going to give anything away, but we watched episode 1 last night and we're going to binge the rest of them this evening with our Chinese dinner, so I can't wait. But as I like to do, I'm taking my makeup off now that the day is kind of done, and I will show you how glorious the Milk and Peel Balm from Erborian is. So let's pop on my little headband. I'm sure you've heard me say it a million times before, but I highly recommend just taking your makeup off at the end of the day, as in when your day of doing things is done, as opposed to just before bed, because then your skin just gets to enjoy the nice ingredients that you put on it, like if you do an oil or something after your cleansing, for the full evening instead of just while you sleep. And especially when I lived in London, it's so funny. Especially when I lived in London, I always just found it so gross to sit around in the house with a day's old makeup. To be fair, my makeup today has been really light and lovely, so I don't feel like this at all. But sometimes when I lived in London, I'd get off the tube, I'd walk home, maybe I'd been walking behind buses, and I just felt like I could literally feel the pollution on my skin. So moral of the story, I just like to take my makeup off early in the evening, late afternoon, early evening. What I'm going to do first, as usual, is use my face halo. These are just so good for getting that initial bit of makeup off your skin. I find that I use way less of my actual products if I use a face halo first, because this doesn't require any product. You just run it under the tap, wipe your makeup off, and then I shove them in the washing machine with our towels. And as you can see, this one is probably 2 years old. It's still white, so they are amazing. I do probably have about 10 of these mini face halos, and I just hang them off the side of my sink to dry, because I always use them at night. I don't bother with this in the morning. I just go in with a micellar water in the mornings. I'll just leave them to dry overnight, and then after I've done my morning cleanse without using a face halo, this will have dried, and then I will put it in our washing basket with the towels. And then we wash towels once a week. I've actually got some in the washing machine right now, Saturday / whatever day on the weekend we have time. See, it's taken off loads of my makeup. I wash the towels. Why am I telling you about my towel washing routine? Yeah, so I just find it's worth having a few of these in rotation. Great for just getting rid of the bulk of your makeup. And then that means that your cleanser that you have chosen carefully for your particular skin type and all the lovely benefits that your cleanser comes with means that it's actually cleansing your skin as opposed to removing makeup, because that's why a double cleanse is so important. And to be honest, if you count this, technically I triple cleanse, because what I would normally do is then go in with a micellar water and a toner as well. So, oh, and these also get rid of mascara. And now onto the fun bit. So this is the Milk and Peel Balm. It is a cleansing oil in balm with the sesame milk daily resurfacing effect. So this essentially, because it's the same range as the mask that I used this morning, has got very similar benefits. So the consistency is like a cleansing balm. You might be able to guess from the name. Pop it on dry skin, and this does feel like it has some very fine grains in it, but not enough to be harsh to sensitive skin, because again, it's those enzymes that are actually doing the resurfacing for you. And it's obviously gentle enough that you can use this every single day, but it just helps you to keep on top of nibbling away at those dead skin cells to leave you with a nice glowing complexion. And then when you add the water, it turns a little bit more milky, emulsifies, and you get that nice milky finish. And with the sesame oil, just so lovely and nourishing. So you get a lovely glowing complexion day in, day out. Don't forget the neck, especially if you do take your makeup down there, which I do. So this has also got some botanical oils in there, so you really just feel like you're getting a full-on hydrating and nourishing. Oh, I'm such a fan of oils within skincare. As you can see, I'm enjoying a really nice facial massage, nothing professional, but it's really nice to just give your face a bit of a massage at the end of the day. And anything with oils in it, oh, my skin just absolutely loves. Okay, I think that's enough massaging. Now I'm going to remove with warm water. Yeah? Oh, it just feels so good. Sometimes after you cleanse with products that I've used in the past, your skin can feel so tight and like it's crying out for the next product, whether that's an oil or a serum. Where is my hair gone? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to be blonde again. Get me into the hairdresser. But yeah, it just feels clean, it feels hydrated, so lovely. Okay, I'm gonna pop on a nice face oil. This is the multivitamin elixir from Smart Skin, my friend Naomi's brand. It is so lovely, just feels like a really rich oil. My skin, as I said, just loves oils. And when I'm having an evening like this, where it's quite a long evening of no makeup, it's just the perfect time on freshly cleansed skin for your skin to enjoy all the goodness from the facial oil. I have to say, I would at this point usually use something like my Sarah Chapman facial massage tool, but Charlie has just called up to say that the chicken to say that the veggie spring rolls are done. So I'm going to sadly miss out on that massage today. Oh, even that has just brought pinkness back to my skin. So that is my pre-dinner evening skincare. Hair is going back in a bun. And depending on how I feel later on, I might come in with a light toner or something. Did anyone used to watch the Moomins? I always think I look like Little My when I do my hair in a bun. Anyway, time for some dinner. Oh yeah. Whoops. Here is the final course from our 3-course Chinese feast. Charlie is tending to the fire. We just found some clips on my phone from when this room was completely empty, so we've just done a reel on Old House. I think we'll be sharing a lot of before and afters this next week or so as we approach our 1-year anniversary. I was thinking, Charlie, we should film a Q&A video.
Yeah.
For 1 year in the house.
Celebrates mad. It's been 1 year, isn't it?
I know, I can't believe it.
Literally
And
next week, isn't it?
Robin just texted me saying, oh, I feel like we're all sorted now. And they've been there for 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well,
I was like,
I feel
right.
like it took us,
You only just got there.
about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And then even then, I mean, when you consider what we've changed since even then.
Yeah. But then they're only on phase 1. Excuse me. Good morning, my darlings. It is now Sunday morning. Apologising in advance if I've got toast around my mouth or pepper in my teeth. I haven't looked in the mirror since our brunch. It's a very odd day today, weather-wise. Here's my morning weather report for you. We have had snow, rain, sleet and sunshine all within the past couple of hours, but it seems to be looking nice now. I've even got my sunglasses on. And we are finally doing the gardening that I have been wanting to do for a little while now. Charlie has been seeing to his bird feeders, and we are going to rip out the mint, what are they called? Roots from one of the triangular beds down there, and prep another 2 of the triangular beds, which is going to be for my autumn winter veg, so things like squashes and pumpkins. We've got loads of new compost that's been delivered from a local farmer, so hopefully if we get the beds cleared I can pop some of that on. And then we are going to, around the front of the house, hopefully do our rose garden. If the farmer can drop off even more compost later on this afternoon, and usually he's pretty quick, then we can get that pretty much done. So it should be a very productive day. I also made a somewhat impulsive antiques purchase this morning from the same antiques dealer that we purchased this from last year, and I have ordered another marble table because, well, I think they are very, very useful. It's just amazing that you can leave them outside, so I can use it as a potting table. I can take it into my greenhouse when I get a new one next year. We can pop it alongside this one if and when we have lots of friends over in summer, and it also came with 6 chairs. I think it was about half the price that I paid for this one, so it'll be really interesting to compare the two. But yeah, the same antiques dealer. And also what's called a florist stand. It looks really beautiful. I might be able to pop a picture on the screen here, but it's basically like a wrought iron semicircle stand that you put pots on, and I thought that would just look lovely against the side of the greenhouse. To be honest, there's many places I could put it, but I thought a really nice place to put potted plants instead of having them like scattered all over the place, because I think that pots, if they're just left, they can look quite cluttered. So yes. Unfortunately, I did just miss out on something called a baker's stand, which again I thought would be gorgeous for display, but it's just someone snapped it up before I managed to pay. Very annoying, but it's something that I can have on my treasure hunt wish list when the reclamation yards and the antique shops around here open up again. Gosh, it has been a couple of hours since I caught up with you, and we have been busy bees. I have planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little lettuce plants, 3 rows of spinach and 2 rows of red lettuce in my salad bed. It's much earlier than I planted them last year, so hopefully these little guys will survive any more cool nights we have. And then for the last couple of hours I have been a busy bee down in this part of the garden. This is a real work in progress. I really want to make this whole area really beautiful by summer. So I've lined this end triangular bed with old red bricks and added some compost on top. I've also added more compost into the cut flower garden area. The reason I've left this area, you can really see how dry and unnutritious our clay soil is compared to the colour of the compost. But the reason I've left this gap is because we are actually replacing these wooden, they're not sleepers, I guess you'd call them planks, next week. So once they have been replaced, I can fill the compost up to the edges and start my planting. The peonies in these beds seem to be doing really well, and I'm not 100% sure what this green foliage is, but based on where it is, I have a feeling it might be alliums, because that's where the alliums grew last year. Again, not particularly neat around the edges, but I didn't want to be too much of a perfectionist, considering that Mark and Steve are going to be here next week doing the wood. I will do those perfect finishing touches a little bit later on, but everything is looking surprisingly happy considering it's been growing so far in clay soil. Whatever these are, the roses and especially the peonies, they are doing very well indeed. So yeah, it still looks quite scruffy down here, but give me a few weeks and it will be looking rather lovely. The next thing I'm going to do is just put some compost on this bed here. I did have a sprinkler on, so it's looking fairly moist. These peonies at the back here are doing exceptionally well. They seem to have tripled since last year. And then we've got some roses. That one, again, doing really well. Charlie's not feeling 100%, so he's gone inside, so I don't know if we'll get time to do the mint bed today, but if not, that can be a challenge for in the week. It is now just gone 6:30. I have been inside doing a little bit of editing of this vlog for the last half an hour while Charlie watched Man United on the TV. I'm holding you at an absolute arm's length extreme because I don't think I have any makeup left on my face. We've had another afternoon of all seasons. It has been snowing, hailing, it's been t-shirt weather, it has been absolutely crazy, and now we have got the fire on. After earlier on I said we wouldn't have a fire again because it's spring, but we've got the fire on, and I've just also popped my Sunday video live, and I've been reading a few of the comments. One of them that I've just read was for an update on the mac and cheese wisteria seed. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave the vlog linked up on the screen where mac and cheese gate occurred with my wisteria seed. And darlings, I hate to say it, but this is the progress. So I planted it on the 20th of February, over a month later. The soil is damp under there, so it's got no excuse. I don't know when I should give up on this. It's really, really sad, but obviously it has been through the Arga. What do you think, darling? Do I need to give up on my wisteria seed?
No, I don't think you need to give up. I think just leave it. Well, it's not hurting anyone being there, is it?
No, I'm going to give it a little bit more water.
It is bothering me a little bit. This area is always... Because I love seeing this old stone. This would have been used for drying the washing.
What, you don't like seeing toilet roll tubes?
Yeah, it's not great for the aesthetic of the room. This coffee plant we've kept alive for about 4 years since we went to that Nespresso thing, or I've kept alive. It takes so much water.
Yeah, it does. It's mad.
I feel like I water it daily.
We got that at the BAFTAs when we went to the BAFTAs with Nespresso.
So it's literally 4 years from now.
Do you remember where we were given that?
Yeah, what was it?
At Kensington Palace.
Yeah, Kensington Palace.
Yeah. This I think I'm going to ditch because it's meant to be sprouting seed rocket, but it just looks absolutely rubbish.
I would ditch that.
I'm going to ditch it. But I'm not going to ditch my wisteria seed.
No, we'll keep that going.
I mean, even if I keep it going for a year, it's just, you know, miracles could happen.
Who knows?
Who knows?
We have got plenty of lovely wisterias though, so I'm not sure we need another one.
I'm just going to pray for a miracle.
To be honest, the only place I can think we put another one is out.
Le cottage!
Because that's the next thing we want to get sprucing. Look, so this is how clever our dogs are. This is them telling us we don't like our food. So he's pushed them right into the corner. You are spectacular.
You're very naughty, my dead
very
dad.
clever, Daddy.
I'm a very naughty boy. Right. Oh, he snooted the camera.
Lovely.
What a lovely little sausage
You
dog.
can freshen that up, darling. I'll freshen the water.